AEW Full Gear. Did you guys see that? It's a tale of two halves. First half had like one match that really stood out. It was like Hangman Page versus Pac. That was a good match. But the problem is they have so many good matches on like Dynamite weekly that when the pay-per-view comes, we're going to do something ridiculous. And the first half of the card, nothing truly ridiculous happened. The tag title match was good. It was good. But you know, I mean, we knew it was going to be good. WWE's tag title matches and their pay-per-views are really good too. But AEW is trying to portray that this is where the real wrestling happens. Now, your pay-per-views, guys, it has to look a lot better than what happens on your Dynamites. Just kind of like it's kind of a double-edged sword, because you want Dynamite's match quality to be really good, but the problem is that when the pay-per-views come, the bar has to go up. And it went up a little for some of these matches, but it didn't really like fly up. You know what I mean? And for the first pay-per-view, a lot of people are expecting it to fly. But second half of this card, namely the last two matches, just if you've seen it, everyone just take a swig of something strong right now, because we got to talk about it. Those last two matches, holy shit! Cody against Chris Jericho for the AEW World Championship. Of course, MJF by Cody's side. They've been doing this whole angle that he's his best friend for some couple months now, which we all knew how that was going to end, and it finally did. Great match, though, by the way. Let me just get to the match first. I'll get to the angle in a second. Let me get to the match, because, man, it was good. See, now this is what I like. This was a slowed down kind of a WWE styled match, because you have Cody versus Chris Jericho. So there's more, it was a little slower, a little more storytelling. And there was a big spot that kind of like defined the match, where Cody dives a tope suicida or whatever over the top rope to the outside. Jericho moves the hell out of the way. And Cody, I think, legitimately smashes his face onto like the ring ramp. Like they have like a metal or plasticky ring ramp. And he looked and sounded like a coconut. Like, you know when you that coconut sound or a melon when you hear, oh shit, someone clearly actually hit their head? That's what it looked like. And that's what it sounded like. And the replays didn't look great either. But when he got up, he had a gigantic gash over his eyebrow. And I'm not sure. Like, I don't know. No one's giving me a definitive, did he blade? I've heard some people say they think he bladed. I don't know. I actually don't think he did. I think he actually just hit his head on the thing. Now, did he hit his head on purpose to, like, you know, I mean, open yourself up the hard way? Maybe. But, he could have bladed, but that didn't look, if he bladed all fucking wrong. Because that was a big gash. That wasn't like a Ric Flair slice that you don't see the next day. That was a gash. Looked like a boxing headbutt happened. So I think he actually hit his head on the ring ramp. And that told the story for the rest of the match. Because Jericho didn't give a shit that he was covered in blood. And they made it even feel more realistic when the doctors came or trying to sop it up. And a couple times you could hear Cody actually telling them, get my eye, because he couldn't see. Like blood was all in his eyeball. Oh man, brutal. And the whole story to this was Cody, if he loses here, he's never going to get a shot at the AEW World Championship ever again. Now, do I believe that to be... He didn't win here, so technically he's not supposed to have one. Do I believe that's going to be the case? No, of course not. He's not old. He's a young wrestler. He's going to do this again. He's going to eventually win it. I just think it's going to happen after he turns heel. And then he'll eventually turn heel and use his corporate job status that he actually is also to, storyline-wise, book him back into the heavyweight title picture. You know what I mean? Sounds interesting. I'll be down for it. It's what I would do. And Jericho won the match because MJF. We knew he would eventually. We knew he would. He screwed him. He threw in the white towel while Jericho had Cody in the Lion Tamer. Like, it's the Walls of Jericho, but it's the classic Lion Tamer where he really arches back while still standing on his feet. Threw in the towel. The ref stopped it. Jericho retains, which he was like, I kind of knew. Something like, oh shit, it's happening now. Jericho left. He went to celebrate with a little bit of the bubbly with his boys. And MJF came to the ring. He was on his knees, acting like he felt like shit. Felt guilty about screwing Cody's big chance. He was just looking out for the best intentions for Cody's health, that type of thing. Low blow, a kick right in the nuts, MJF, which that's the thing. When they were have been booking MJF to be a kind of like best friend of Cody, I was always like, that's kind of odd. I've always known him to be a Miz-styled, evil EC3 Impact-styled heel. Like a big douchebag. So when they were booking him as like a best friend character, it's kind of odd. So you knew he was going to screw him sooner than later. First pay-per-view, screwed him. They probably should have waited a little longer, but this is a beautiful way of doing it, so I don't even have a complaint. Just because it's a great story with the towel. That's why you see, he screwed you twice. Like, then he kicks you in the nuts. It's like you got... Oh, that's great. He screwed you twice, and he technically made sure you'll never be a world champion. Storyline-wise. I'm looking forward to it. That's going to be a good feud. It should help them for the next like month or two, I guess. Whenever the next pay-per-view is, I'm not sure when that is, but that's going to help them along there. Chris Jericho retains. So technically, you got everything you wanted. A very good match, a brutal moment, a brutal visual, a tear-jerking towel throw, an emotional low blow. Sets up your a huge mega feud, since I'm assuming Omega and Moxley should be. It better be done after this one. We'll talk about that in a second. But it sets up a big blood feud, MJF versus Cody, for the next couple months, and you have Jericho free to now. It looks like it's since Hangman Page beat Pac that they're just gonna do Jericho versus Page again. Me personally would have preferred Jericho versus Pac and just let Pac kind of be like an anti-hero babyface. But hey, I guess most likely it looks like Page again. And then the main event. Yep, time to take another swig. Sorry, guys, I got my allergies up, make my nose itch. Main event. John fucking Moxley versus Kenny goddamn Omega. And what they call, AEW called a lights out match. Which I get it. I like the idea. The name isn't perfect, but I don't care. That's good enough. Who cares? It's good enough. Yeah, need one more swig for this match, because oh man. Lights off match, the idea of it is an unsanctioned match, which what WWE calls it, but they call it lights out because once the lights go off for about like 2 seconds, they come back on. Everything you've seen after that light switch is unsanctioned, and AEW technically has no ruling or blame or any blood on their hands, pun intended. Of course they actually do, but storyline wise. Whoa. I knew it was going to be brutal. Garbage cans, kendo sticks, that type of stuff I was expecting, just like WWE does for their unsanctioned matches. And with John Moxley in a PG-14 company now, I knew it was going to be some blood and some bad things. And good Lord, were there some bad things. And I loved every goddamn second of them. Man, this might be match of the year. Like we had just almost every type of weapon. The only thing missing was fire, I guess, and maybe thumbtacks. But instead of thumbtacks, we got broken glass. Which there was a moment where Kenny Omega had Moxley in the, I think it was a sharpshooter. And Moxley was trying to like climb out of it, but by doing so, he was climbing his bare stomach and chest through broken glass on the ring. Good God. There's a moment where Kenny Omega has his broom, his sweeper, wrapped in barbed wire. He hits Moxley in the back, neck, head area with it. He's bleeding. Like, if you thought this barbed wire was fake, no, this is not gimmicked barbed wire. And if it is, it still has big ass spikes in it, or something to cut you open, because you could clearly see it happening. He hits, and then he even, after he hits him in the back of the neck and head with it, this crazy bastard does like a sweeping, cleaning motion on his back, on Moxley's back, with a barbed wire covered broom. And the visual, you can go on YouTube, there's a ton of like thumbnails where you see Moxley and blood dripping down his chest, down his back. Brutal. There's just so much brutal stuff in this match. They go outside the ring. Omega hits Moxley with his knee, his flying knee, which I think he calls the V-trigger, and they both go crashing through some plastic glass looking AEW full gear thing setup. That was nice. I think Kenny Omega actually took the worst of it. It took him a lot longer to get up. There's a superplex through the stage full of barbed wire, and they had to be helped out of it because they were all entangled in barbed wire. Good Lord. It was crazy. It was crazy. And I loved it. I missed that. I missed the Mick Foley matches. I missed the street fights, when street fights used to mean something back in the day. Triple H versus Foley in a street fight meant someone's going to get fucked up. It means we're actually in a blood feud. Hell in a Cells used to matter. It wasn't just because it was on the schedule. It actually was for a reason, and you guys would actually put on a show and beat the daylights out of each other, and that's what they did. It was crazy. It was crazy. And the ending, Moxley pulls up the mat. He actually goes around the whole damn ring with like some scissors and cuts the rope so he can peel up the whole mat. He peels up a bunch of the foam covering the wood. So we just have wood on the ring. There's like a suplex, a back body drop, just standard moves. And then Kenny Omega goes up top while Jon Moxley's laid flat on his back on the wood, straight wood, and tries what I believe was a Phoenix Splash. It's like what is it? Oh yeah, it's like a spinning shooting star press. Yeah. And I think they call it a Phoenix Splash. Seth Rollins does it. And man, Moxley moved out of the way, and Kenny Omega ate shit. He ate all wood. All wood. It was a brutal looking spot. It was nice. Some of the people in the crowd gasped pretty hard on it. And then Dean just picks him up and does his super version of his, I think, paradigm shift. Used to be known as the Dirty Deeds, double underhook DDT. He did his lifting version of it. 1, 2, 3. And that was it. Which I'm actually surprised because Kenny Omega, it's weird. I'm half surprised, half not surprised. Part of me surprised because damn, Kenny Omega's win-loss record is not good in AEW so far. But I guess that's okay. I guess I would prefer him to look a little more top tier since their win-losses are actually being counted right now. But since this was a unsanctioned match, and that is kind of what Dean Ambrose, Jon Moxley does, it's nice to put him over in those. Because like WWE back in the day, how many Cactus Jack street fights did he have, Hell in a Cell matches, and he just lose? I mean, it would be a great classic, all-time classic bloodbath and a great match. But he almost always lost those. So it was nice to see the guy who's known for the match to win the match. Man, what a match. Is that the match of the year? Did Ciampa and Gargano happen this year? I don't know. I know it's close. If not, I think it did. But that's the only one. That's the only match this year I can think is close. Close. That's like debatable. This match was goddamn good. Like, it sucks that they're charging people $50 to buy the pay-per-view when people have gotten used to $9.99 in WWE for years. But that match, and the Cody match, but especially the last match, was almost just worth it. You know what I mean? You almost bite the bullet. or find some way to watch it. Get all your boys over. Everyone just chip in $5, $10, and just buy the goddamn pay-per-view and check it out. Because, man, they beat the shit out of each other. That's the best way I can put it. I'm trying not to cuss too much on YouTube because they're gonna flag it and say it's not meant for all viewers. And no, I'm probably not meant for. My name isn't unfiltered. I'm probably not meant for everybody. Kids, sorry, you might like it, but I'm probably not meant for everybody. But damn, that match was good. If you guys saw the match, let me know in the comment section what you thought of it. Because they say some people are trying to say that the AEW audience is split on that match. Of some people loved it, like me, and some people thought they went way too far. I don't think so. I don't think so. Way too far is like the Japanese death matches of Mick Foley's pre-WCW days when he'd fall on something and like on a board, and the board was hooked with explosives, and you'd see his skin peel off his body. That's too far. That's too far. This, no. This was an Attitude Era street fight. Just maybe brought up a couple newer ideas. Speaking of little new ideas, I've never seen that before. Moxley brought out a board instead of covered in barbed wire like TNA does a lot and Japan does. No, the board was covered in mouse traps. Never seen that before. Of course, they ate it and click, 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 snap, 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 snap. Cool. It was a nice little spot. Of course, we had tables. Yeah, the match was crazy, man. It was crazy. Yeah, if you haven't, just go back and see that match. Look for it on YouTube. There might be a bootleg. I have no idea. Search for it. Find some way, please, to watch this match. It is definitely worth it. And the Cody Jericho match. But if you want to see something that you may have not seen before, you go to Omega and Moxley. You really do. And now I'm looking forward to what AEW does now. I really am. AEW was kind of like, I was like, I'm not sure about it. I'm not sure. Dynamites have been okay. Some of them have been good, but I need some more storyline, some stuff progressing. After that match, I'm like, ooh, I might just be invested because I need to see more matches like that. And again, I'm not saying every match should be like that. I don't want ECW. No offense to ECW. You were cool and you were fun. But you can't take ECW seriously at all because it was just too much weapons. Too much. You can overkill. WWE right now is in the PG era, so they underkill. Where it's like, you do a Hell in a Cell. You should never do a Hell in a Cell pay-per-view that has 2 or 3 Hell in a Cell matches. No one bleeds. It completely screws up the idea of the Hell in a Cell. I don't need Ric Flair covered in blood or Eddie Guerrero squirting out of his head. I don't need that. But I need some type of blood in terms of the Hell in a Cell match. It's like, remember back in the day, you used to like scrape their opponent against the thing? Because if not, we're just in a big cage. And that, if we're just in a big cage, Hell in a Cell doesn't have the same weight. If you know what I mean. But damn, this match was great. I'm assuming their feud is over. Because how do you go up from there? Do they bring in a Hell in a Cell match? And just call it something else since Hell in a Cell belongs to WWE? Maybe. I would. I mean, WWE is using War Games. That used to be WCW, and they bought the company so they can. Just call it something else and let it be a big-ass Hell in a Cell. And let's see what Omega and Moxie pull off in there. If not, maybe a cage match, but it might be a step down. But besides that, if it's not some type of structure, this feud should be over. Anything else is a step down, and I don't know where they go from here for those two. I really don't. Kenny Omega lost, so he can't be going for like a title. I don't know. Brutal. That's all I can say. Brutal. Loved it. And I think I'm going to rewatch it later tonight. Oh, man. Because there's spots I'd even mentioned. Like, this thing is, it's loaded. It's loaded. I just want to put this video out there just to let you guys know. If you have not seen it, find some way to see it. I don't care how. Buy the pay-per-view. Google it. YouTube. Do something. Find a way to watch this match. It was crazy. It was crazy. Good Lord. And I appreciate you guys if you've watched this video. A lot more videos coming soon. Man. I'm about to watch Raw coming up soon, and it has no chance. It has no chance after what I just saw. None. What are you going to say about Survivor Series? Man, just so brutal. Lost for words. AEW Full Gear. First half was okay. The last 2 matches were ridiculous. I would say the last was damn sure classic, and the Cody Jericho was close to it. It was close to it. I'm out.